Hey, my people. So we are back, and we are back live, my people. Um, Let me just start by saluting my people from Puerto Rico, Boricuas. We had a great night yesterday. Great night. From Puerto Rico, from the United States, and the whole world. All the Puerto Ricans, all the Boricuas. Okay. Salute to you, my people. I want to salute my people from Chicago and my people from the United States as a whole. The greatest nation in the world. Hoorah! Oh man, oh man, oh man. We had a great night yesterday. We had a great night. And we're going to be talking about it right now. Right now, my people. I know that there are a lot of people angry. I know there are a lot of Mexicans and a lot of haters angry. I know. It is something that we knew it was gonna happen. We knew that. I told you that in my last video that I made. I told you that they were gonna look for something to trash Edgar Belanga. I knew it. I knew it. That is why I'm bringing up this this tender that I'm going to talk today to you, my people, because Rene Boxion, hello to you, brother. Hi, Boricua. How you doing? I'm great, man. How's it going in Puerto Rico, man? It's great. It's great. Rene, welcome in, familia. Relaxing over there where you live, man. That's right. That's right, Rene. You're just having fun, just having a great time, man, because Puerto Ricans did great yesterday. They just did great. In the car they were in Kissimmee, Florida yesterday, my friend. It was great. It was great. Everybody did great. The only man who lost was the man who was supposed to lose against Navarrete. That was Pitufo Diaz. Pitufo Diaz lost the fight. He tried his best to beat this guy, Navarrete, but it was just too much, man. It was just too much. Navarrete was the guy is too long. The guy is hit hard. You know, we gotta respect that. Okay, we gotta respect that the guy is pretty good. Navarrete versus Diaz was fireworks. That's right, man. But Diaz hit this guy with all he had, man. And you saw Navarrete finish the fight with his face just like nothing. But Diaz was just all messed up, man. His face was messed up. He was knocked down like 3 or 4 times. Well, he was knocked out. He was knocked out. And at the end, his corner called the fight. He could have ended the fight because it was like 10 seconds left. But his corner stopped the fight, you know. So he got the knockout, knocked out Navarrete. But it's okay, you know. Navarrete's style is really weird, but Lance, that's right. He's slow, but he's got real long arms, man. The guy has real long arms. He knocked down Diaz with an uppercut. He just came like from way back, man, from way back with his left. And he hit Diaz going back, and he dropped the guy. That was his first knockdown. And Diaz didn't seem to find a way to hurt this guy. You know, he was trying to beat him anyway. You know, even by decision. But the guy just throws too many punches as well. You know, Navarrete throws too many punches. And Diaz was shorter. He was in his the guy had almost 10 inches longer in arms than constantly. That's right. That's right, Rene. Than Navarrete. He was like almost 10 inches shorter, his arms. You know, Diaz is a short guy, you know. It was hard for him. It was hard. He could box in it. And he boxed beautifully, and he tried to do his best, but he just couldn't. Yeah, I'm sure it's really hard to beat Navarrete, man. That's right. That's right. That is absolutely right. You know, so I'm bringing up this fight between Mike Tyson against James Tillis because James Tillis was the first man who took Mike Tyson to distance. Because you see people just hating today, you know, hating on Edgar Belanga because Edgar Belanga went to distance against Nickerson. Okay, but the thing is that Nickerson had 23 wins with 20 knockouts. The guy can punch. The guy can punch, and the guy he got punches in on Edgar Berlanga, and Edgar Berlanga took those punches because everybody was saying that Edgar Berlanga had a glass chin. He had a glass chin. So Edgar Berlanga took those punches. Edgar Berlanga beat this guy easy. He knocked the guy down 4 times in the fight. He hurt the guy in the 6th round, and at the same time he could have knocked out this guy from the 2nd round, but Edgar Berlanga was just too anxious. He was anxious. He was trying to knock the guy out real hard. And that was the problem. If Berlanga would only come down, because it is the fact that it is the first time that Berlanga getting knocked out his opponent in the 1st round. It's the first time that Berlanga goes past the 1st round in his career, in his professional career. Okay, so him going past the 1st round for the first time in his career, that's a big factor. That is a big factor for you to go anxious, for you to try to do too much, to try to just go out and knock out the guy like crazy, But at the same time, he still fought a great fight. He still beat the guy easy. He took his punches and he went 8 rounds. And the first time that he got past his 1st round, the first time. Okay, so it is what I'm telling everybody. The first time Mike Tyson went to distance, it was in his 20th fight. 20th fight. So Mike Tyson, it was a great learning experience for Berlanga. That's right. That's right, Rene. That is right. It is a new experience. A new experience. Because he had never gone past the 1st round, my friend. Family. So him going past the 1st round for the first time, that's enough reason to say that it was going to be hard for him, against a more experienced guy, against a guy who had fought, who had punching power, who is a boxer, who is crafty, who will try to do anything. The guy was just trying to survive, because every time the guy tried to mix it up with Edgar Berlanga, he got knocked out. Every time. He got knocked down 4 times, and he got hurt in the 6th round. Edgar Berlanga almost knocked him out in the 6th round, and the bell saved him. And when he was walking back to his corner, he was like he was drunk, But he was in great condition. The guy was in great condition. I got to take my hat off to this guy, because this guy was in great condition. But the thing is that the Mike Tyson went 10 rounds, because it wasn't a championship fight, against James Tillis, his 20th fight. The first time he went to distance against a guy who had a record of 31 wins, 8 losses, and 24 knockouts. And was Mike Tyson a bad fighter because of that? Because he could have knocked out this guy who of his 8 losses, he was knocked out 3 times, and 1 time in the 1st round. And Mike Tyson could have knocked out this guy. You can look it up if you want. Anybody can look it up if they want. So right now, Edgar Berlanga doesn't have the pressure. He just doesn't have the pressure anymore to knock out his opponent in the 1st round. So that pressure is gone. That pressure, okay? That pressure is just gone. It's just gone. He won't have to worry about that anymore. So if he was worried about knocking out his opponent, or tried to break any record by knocking out his 21st opponents in the 1st round, that is gone. Okay, Now he just has to worry to go in there and just box when he has to box, punch if he has to punch. Because I don't think there's a bigger puncher in that weight class than Edgar Berlanga. I just don't think so. I just don't think so. There is no guy in that weight class that can hit harder than Edgar Berlanga. Every everything Edgar Berlanga touches goes down. Goes down. I'm telling you. But yesterday in the second round, if you see after he knocked down the guy, that the guy was hurt. Edgar Berlanga just went over this guy like crazy. He looked like Deontay Wilder. You know when they used to call Deontay Wilder windmill because Deontay Wilder was going in there and you're just throwing punches like crazy. That's how Edgar Berlanga looked. And Edgar Berlanga doesn't do that. Edgar Berlanga doesn't do that. He was real anxious, you know. He was real anxious. But like I told you before, it's not going to happen anymore. It's not going to happen again. So now everybody's saying, he should stop calling out Canelo Alvarez because he's not going to beat Canelo Alvarez. Give him some time, man. He's not going to fight Canelo Alvarez right now. He's not going to fight Canelo Alvarez right now. He's going to fight Canelo Alvarez. And the day's going to come. And it's not going to be too far from now. It's not going to be a year or 2 years. It is going to be earlier. He just got to make like 2 or 3 more fights, and he can take on Canelo Alvarez. He could lose to Canelo Alvarez, but he could beat Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez has not fought a guy in that a natural 168 pounder like Edgar Berlanga, who is a natural 168 pounder, a super middleweight division pounder. Edgar Berlanga, who is going to hit him really hard. And Canelo Alvarez is not long. He's small. You know, the guy can box, but Edgar Berlanga can box as well, you know. But yesterday was the first time he got past the first round. So you cannot judge the guy for that. He's just going to come down in his next fight, and you will see a different version. Even though he won that fight easy against an easier opponent, because I know that Demon Nickerson was not the best in that weight class, but he was not the worst either. You know, he was not the worst either. He fought a pretty good fighter, a guy who could box, a guy who could punch, a guy who's crafty, a guy who could make who could make you a real hard fight to win. Great top ranked fights, man. That's right. That's right. We had some great fight yesterday. Sander Sayas, man, I gotta congratulate him. He knocked out the guy in the first round. He did great, you know. But I want to talk about this because there are people out there who just don't want to recognize the value of Edgar Berlanga, man. And I want to show you something. I want to show you something because there are people who don't like Edgar Berlanga, who attack Edgar Berlanga, but at the same time, they don't like Edgar Berlanga to say that he's a Puerto Rican. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Take a look at this. Take a look at this. Why are you worried about if Edgar Berlanga is a Puerto Rican or not? If you're saying that Edgar Berlanga is trash, if you're saying that Edgar Berlanga is no good, why? Why? You know, take a look at this guy, man, that I'm going to show you right now. Take a look at this guy. This guy is always attacking Edgar Berlanga. Always. You know, I commented in this comment section. I don't remember who was talking about, but I think it was Blue Blood who made a video after the fight. Berlanga answered a lot of questions today. He can go rounds. He can take a punch from a puncher, and he got The easy win. Great step up for the monster. Take a look at this guy. Why does he claim to be from Puerto Rico, San Juan? Yet he was born and raised in New York, Brooklyn. My wife is also from Brooklyn, and both of her parents were from Puerto Rico. Yet she doesn't claim to be from Puerto Rico. I don't understand. He should be proud to be from Brooklyn, just like Jay Rosado is proud to be from Philadelphia. You can't change where you're born, or can you? Okay, so in the United States there are no African Americans. In the United States there are no European Americans. In the United States there are no Mexican Americans. In the United States are no Cuban Americans. In the United States are no Dominican Americans. In the United States, there are all the people from the United States come from somewhere. Okay, so this guy is going to tell me, that the Edgar Berlanga is not a Puerto Rican because he was born in New York. You know, Hector El Macho Camacho was born in New York. He was always proud to be a Puerto Rican because I don't know if it's if this guy's wife doesn't want to be a Puerto Rican, then that is her problem. You know, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with his wife not wanting to be Puerto Rican and wanted to and want to be or wanted to be a New Yorker. I have no problem with that. If this guy's wife want to be from New York and doesn't care about being a Puerto Rican, that's her problem, you know. But almost all the Puerto Ricans that are born in New York are proud to be Puerto Ricans. Almost all of them. I could say more than 90%. It is not the same in Philadelphia. It is not the same. It may be not the same in other states because there are fewer Puerto Ricans. In Philadelphia, there are fewer Puerto Ricans. Fewer. Okay? In Kissimmee, where this people fought in Kissimmee, um, um, you know that Kissimmee is called Little Puerto Rico. Did you know that? Did you know that Kissimmee is called Little Puerto Rico? So you even in Orlando in Orlando right now in Florida, let's say in Florida there are more Puerto Ricans than in New York. And New York was the place where more Puerto Ricans were. You know, one time I went to Disney and I was asking for instructions to get to the place that they wanted to get, and I had a New York hat, New York Yankees hat, and the guy who I asked me, "Are you from New York?" And I told him, "No, I'm from Puerto Rico." He told me it's the same. That is the same thing. He told me that is the same thing. He told me that, and that was like 20 years ago. So don't come to me telling me that you being from Puerto Rico or being from New York, you being born in New York and raised in New York is not. You're not supposed to be a Puerto Rican. Don't come to me with that, man. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. I was born in Chicago. I came to Puerto Rico when I was 5 years old, and I went back. I went back like when I was 12, and I was in Chicago like till my 19 years old. I was like 6 or 7 years born in Chicago. You know, so my my teenage life was in Chicago when I was a teenager. So I came back to Puerto Rico and I stay here in Puerto Rico. Does that mean I'm a from Chicago or Puerto Rico? I'm from both sides. I was born in Chicago. I recognize that. That is why you always see me when I begin my videos. Saluting Chicago. I was born in Chicago, and I'm proud of being born in Chicago. But I'm a Puerto Rican. If you get to know a person from let's say from Texas, the guy's from Texas. The guy's from Texas. He's an American, but he's from Texas. He's proud to be from Texas. Okay, from any state, from any state. So just let's just start with this craziness, man, with this jealousness, because that is jealous, man. That is being jealous. That is being envy. That is being envy. So Edgar Berlanga going 8 rounds against this guy and not being able to finish the guy doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. It was a great experience for him, just like Rene John says. It was a great experience for him. It was the first time he got past the first round. He did great. He took this guy's punches when all of these haters were saying that the Edgar Berlanga couldn't take a punch because he had a glass chin. He couldn't go rounds. Just wait till Edgar Berlanga goes more rounds, and you will see that he's gonna get knocked out. He's gonna get knocked out. Oh, but just because he got hit by this guy, who is not one of the top guys in the division, that means that's why he didn't get knocked out. But just as he could get knocked out by a bigger puncher in that division, his opponent could get knocked out by him. Okay, so a puncher is going to get hit. A puncher is going to get hit because he's going to be putting pressure on you. He's going to be all over you. He's going to try to knock you out. That is what he's going to try to do. Edgar Berlanga is a puncher, boxer. He can box, but he just want to go in there and knock you out. But because he's got the power, he's got the power. And I'm going to tell you once again, the only reason he didn't knock out this guy was because this guy was crafty and because he was anxious. He was anxious. He could have knocked out this guy. Man, I want to show you the 6th round. Let me just go back over here. I want to show you the 6th round where Berlanga the guy was walking to his corner after Berlanga hurt him. Berlanga didn't knock him down in that round, in the 6th round. But Berlanga hurt the guy in the 6th round. Just take a look at this. Let me show you. Let me see if they don't block if they block this video after I made it. I don't care because this is a live stream. Okay. So if they block it, I don't care. Let me just look. Let me just show you that the guy walking to his corner in the 6th round. The guy was knocked out. Berlanga was just. I'm pretty sure that his manager after the fight got all over him. Was all over Berlanga. But it's not his fault, It's the first time Berlanga goes past the first round. You cannot punish him for that. You cannot punish Berlanga for that or because of that. Because it was the first time Berlanga got past the first round. I mean, so him going past. No, this is not the video. This is not the clip that I want to show you. This is not the clip that I want to show you. This is the guy who said This is the guy who said
Welcome to another edition of
that
I Am
Edgar
Most
Belanga
Wanted
shouldn't
Pedro
be
Just.
calling out that he did a great job and he did what he needed to do. He won all the rounds or almost all the. He only gave the guy the 7 rounds. He said the 7. I don't think the guy won one round. Let's see. Fight, complete fight. An interview. Edgar Belanga was really. I'm telling you, he was really respectful. He was really humble when they asked him. He even said that he scored himself. What the guy told him. The guy told him what rating do you give yourself in this fight? And he said, what score? He said, I give myself a C. I don't think he should have said that. He's humble. Edgar Belanga is humble. Who fight, man? I can't fight that. I can't find that. I think they just took it off. They just took they just took that video off of here. So that's why it's not there. But well, when you get the chance, watch the fight. Watch the fight, and you will see that Edgar Belanga hurts this guy in the 6th round. In the end of the 6th round, in the end, and this guy was like he was drunk. He was like he was drunk when he was walking back to his corner. He looked like he was drunk, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You know, watch the fight, and you will see that this guy was just the guy was knocked out. Edgar Blanca missed a lot of punches, and it was because of that, because he was anxious. The kid was anxious to get the guy out as quickly as possible. He was trying his best to get the guy out, and you can't do that. You just can't do that. But we gotta understand that we're dealing with a kid who just got through his his 1st round, the first time in his career that he got through the 1st round, and he's still knocked out this guy. He still beat up this guy. Belanga rated himself a C in this fight, man. That's right. That's right. That is how humble he is, man. And everybody's talking like, oh, Belanga, oh, he talks a lot. He likes to. He beat the guy easy. If he was another guy, he would have been like, I still beat the guy real easy. I got punched by this guy real hard. I took his punches. I went 8 rounds for the first time, and I rate myself. I could say I rate myself an 8. An A plus, because it was the first time he going past the 1st round. Yeah, Belanga is still maturing as a boxer. That's right. That's right, Rene. But you got these people just going crazy because he's just a Puerto Rican, and they don't like that. They don't like Belanga to be from a Puerto Rican descent. I don't know why. I don't know why, because there are a lot of great Mexican boxers right now. A lot of great Mexican boxers. So it could be a Mexican. It could be from any other where, because they're haters from everywhere, not only from Mexico. I'm not talking only about Mexicans, because this guy who wrote this, who answered me in this and that YouTube comment that I made, he's got an American name. So I don't know. I don't know. Belanga is not gonna knock out everybody. Not even Mike Tyson did that. Not even Deontay Wilder, who beat up Mr. Burn, who was a champion, not one of the greatest champion. He beat up Mr. Burn, but he didn't knock Mr. Burn one time in the fight. Edgar Berlanga knocked out this guy 4 times. Knock him down 4 times. And you're gonna come to me and tell me that Berlanga look horrible against this guy who is a bum. The guy was not a bum, you know. The guy was a good fight, a pretty good fighter. Maybe not one of the best, because if you ask me, let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let me see. This I can show you. This I can show you. Let's go over here. You know, I like to talk with evidence. You know, I like to talk with evidence. Let's just go over here. Because if Berlanga is not as good as you're telling me, because he just went 8 rounds without knocking out his opponent, because he's supposed to knock out everybody, right? Berlanga is supposed to knock out everybody, right? Okay, take a look at this. So Benavidez started his career earlier. I understand that he started his career earlier. He's got 24 fights. Berlanga has 17. They almost have the same age. I'm not talking about that. Okay, so Benavidez started his career in Mexico. He fought like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights in Mexico. His 8th fight was a decision. Okay, against a guy who was 1-6. Just because of that, Benavidez was a bad fighter. Just because of that, Benavidez couldn't go up and challenge Canelo Alvarez or challenge anybody else. Just because he went to distance against this guy who was 1-6 in his 7th fight. Are you going to tell me that? Are you going to tell me that Benavidez fought his first time for a championship against this guy who is a great legend, Ronald Gabriel, a great legend, a great fighter, a great, oh my God, Ronald Gabriel. Where is Ronald Gabriel right now? Huh? Ronald Gabriel fought 2 times against Benavidez and went to distance 2 times and even knocked down Benavidez in 1 round. And I guess it was in the 12th or the 11th round of their first fight. He beat the guy. The first fight was a split decision. He beat him. And then he beat him again, but he couldn't knock him out. Couldn't knock him out. Ronald Gabriel. Who is that? He fought for a championship against Ronald Gabriel. Okay. Now these other guys are better. Okay, so we know that Leon Love is a good fighter. Anthony Dirrell is one of the best fighters. But right now, if you take a look at his record, his 2 losses and 2 draws. The last time he drew against a guy that he was supposed to beat, and his last fight was against this guy, who his best fight before fighting Benavidez was against this guy. Against this guy. Who have been beaten 3 times already. And he beat this guy who is a pretty good guy. Mavbet Korobov. Okay? But this guy gave Benavidez all the Benavidez could handle. He even left a lot of bruises in Benavidez's face. So Benavidez is fighting here against Jose Uzcategui. Let's see who is this. So this is the guy that Caleb Plant beat for the championship. Oh man, come on. You see, they like to attack other fighters, but he's gonna fight a guy who got beat by Caleb Plant. I understand that the Benavidez can't get a lot of fights because Benavidez, nobody wants to fight him. Nobody. It is hard for him to get fights. Okay, so let's go to Canelo Alvarez. Let's go to Canelo Alvarez. Let's go to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez has gotten some questionable decisions. One of them was against this guy. Let's say that this was a questionable decision against a great fighter, Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. But he had a questionable decision against where is he? Where is he? El Islandi Lara. That was a split decision. Okay? Against this guy, who was 19-1 by this time. He is right now 27-3. He's a pretty good fighter, you know. He's a crafty fighter as well. He's a lefty. He's a hard guy to hit. You just got to put pressure on those guys. But let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 5. In Canelo Alvarez, fifth fight, he fought a guy who was 3-5, and he dropped the guy. So just because of that, Canelo wouldn't get to where he is right now. Just because of that, just because he draw in his fifth fight against this guy, Jorge Juarez in Mexico. Just because he lost to Mayweather, he was done. Who is considered maybe one of the greatest fighters of all time. Just because he almost lost to this guy, El Islandi Lara, who got the decision. He's a bad fighter. He's been some good fighter. He beat Miguel Cotto, who was a great Puerto Rican fighter. Great Puerto Rican fighter. They fought in the middleweight division, where Miguel Cotto is not a middleweight division guy. You know, Miguel Cotto could have been a great welterweight or even a super welterweight, but he was not a middleweight. He beat this guy. What his name? But the guy was just done when Cotto beat him, and Cotto had just took a lot of beatings. Sergio Martinez. He beat Sergio Martinez. Okay, but the guy was done already, and Cotto was almost done as well when he fought on Canelo Alvarez. He got some badass beatings. Badass beatings. He got cheated by Margarito. Margarito, who hit him with tampered gloves. He got beat by Manny Pacquiao, who just destroyed him. He got beat by Mayweather. He got beat by the best, you know. But Margarito cheated him. And since he lost to Margarito, he was never the same guy. Never. He was never the same guy because he took those punches from Margarito. And take a look at this at the last guy Canelo Alvarez fought, a guy who just went to pick up a check. This guy didn't even fight in that fight. At least Demon Nicholson went to fight against Edgar Berlanga. Demon Nicholson he fought Edgar Berlanga. He was trying to survive. But he fought Edgar Berlanga. He fought Edgar Berlanga. Okay, so there you have it. There you have it. So it means that if you beat somebody by decision and you destroy him because Edgar Berlanga destroyed the guy. Maybe he got hit a little bit too much. Punches that he shouldn't take. You know, He should have taken less punishment from the guy. But like I said before, it was the first time Edgar Berlanga got through the first round. The first time. You cannot judge Edgar Berlanga because of that. You cannot. Cannot. Okay? So by you judging Edgar Berlanga because Berlanga just got past the first round and didn't knock out this guy who was not one of the best in the division, doesn't mean that he didn't beat up this guy. He beat up this guy. Oh my God, that last knockdown was great. And the guy got up. The guy went prepared. The guy was ready. The guy was 100% in condition. You know, the guy was 100% in condition for that fight. So you just don't come to me telling me that Belanga, he could have knocked out that guy. He fought against a guy who was not in the top 100, not in the top 100, and he could have knocked him out. Just stop. Just stop. Okay. Like I said before, look it up. Look it up. Look up this fight of Mike Tyson against James Tillis, and you will see how this guy hit Mike Tyson many times, many times. The guy won like 3 or 4 rounds in the fight, and Mike Tyson couldn't knock him out in 10 rounds. I'm telling you, this guy wouldn't last one or 2 more rounds against Edgar Berlanga. The guy wouldn't last. The bell saved this guy. The bell saved him. Okay? So let's just stop with this nonsense, man. Okay? Let's just stop with this hatred. Yes, let's just stop with this attack against a kid who is just getting started. He's just getting but he's calling out Canelo Alvarez. He's calling out Benavides. He's not calling out anybody. He's saying that he wants to fight these people. He wants to fight them in a near future. He has not called out anybody. He likes to trash talk, you know. He trash talks a lot. And that is good. That is good for him. You have to do that. You have to do that. You have to trash talk. That is something you have to promote yourself in boxing. If you don't promote yourself in boxing, who's going to know you? Who's going to know you? You got to talk. You got to speak out so people would know you. He had a great streak, 16 knockouts in the first round against boxers. Okay, something nobody else has done, at least in the record department. Nobody else beat the guys. But if you look at the records combined, nobody did that. What Berlanga did. Okay, so breaking that record means nothing for me. Maybe it meant something for Berlanga. Berlanga might want to do that. Do it, you know. He might want to get that record. But you just gotta get over it, you know. You just gotta get over it, and he just gotta go out right now and just fight everybody and just try to do his best to knock the people out. Not only in the first round, but in the second, the third, the fourth, fifth, seventh, eighth round, ninth, 10, or any round, or just beat them up just like you did against this guy. He beat this guy up. I don't think the guy won one round. You know, he hit Berlanga with good chops, but Berlanga hit him with better chops. So who's going to be able to take the Berlanga chops in that weight class? Let's see. Let's see. Maybe Benavides could take his chops. Maybe Canelo could take his chops. We got to see it. We got to see it to believe it, okay? Okay? Because Edgar Berlanga is a big guy. Edgar Berlanga is not a 5'8" guy like Canelo, or a 5'10", 5'11". He's a 6'1" guy, tall and pretty robust. Edgar Berlanga is just a big guy who can punch. He's only getting started. Just like my friend Rene Bostrom is saying, he's only getting started. Edgar Berlanga is only getting started. He's gonna get better and better by the days. And he's planning to fight in June. Maybe that's why this fight was only 8 rounds. Maybe that's why, because he wanted to fight in June, because that is something that they agreed upon. Oh, but he's fighting 8 round fights because he wants to fight in June. He's not going to fight a 10. Let's say that he went 10 rounds against this guy. He's just wasting more energy. He's going to fight in June. So if he's going to fight in June, he needs that energy. He needs that energy. So he's going to get there. He's going to get there. He's going to get those fights. They're going to be great fights. They're going to be great fights. And I'm rooting for my guy. You can root for your guy, but don't call my guy a bum just because he went to distance against a pretty good fighter. A pretty good fighter who can punch and who can box. And beat him up. Beat him easy. Okay? So just don't come to me with that nonsense, man. Let's just stop. Let's just stop with that nonsense. Okay? It is just envy and jealousness. That is what I can see that is happening here. It is just they're just being jealous and being envy of Edgar Berlanga. That is what these people are showing me. That is what these people are showing me. Let's just stop with that nonsense. It is what it is, my people. It is what it is. And I'm telling you, Edgar Berlanga is gonna keep going, and he's gonna keep going and going and going like Energizer battery, going and going and going. Okay, so just let's just you know let's just leave the kid alone. The kid has got a bright future. The kid's got a great power. The kid is just he just destroys everything that the steps on his way. And anybody who's going to come in and run and try to survive the fight is going to lose because he's going to be all over the guy. He's going to be all over the guy. He's going to be putting pressure on the guy. And if the guy can't punch, he's going to go in and take those punches. Because, Demetrius Andrew is going to beat him by the six. Demetrius Andrew can't punch. Caleb Plant can't punch. These people can't punch. These people, he will only go in there and just put pressure on them and just beat them by putting pressure on them. These people can't punch. I'm not telling you that anybody could knock out anybody. But at the same time, if this guy who had 23 wins with 20 knockouts couldn't knock him out, and he hit Edgar Berlanga with great shots. Great shots. Okay? So even Edgar Berlanga had his left eye swelled up. Okay? So Edgar Berlanga can take a punch. Can take many punches from a puncher. Because this guy is a puncher. Nickerson might not be the best boxer, but he can punch. And he can box as well. and he showed it right there. I just I know that Edgar Belan could have knocked out this guy earlier. I know that Edgar Belan could have knocked him out earlier because Edgar Berlanga was just fighting with his mind, because boxing is 90% mentally and 10% physically. Okay, so if Edgar Berlanga was all hoping to knock out this guy in the first round and he didn't knock him out, that had to work in his mind, that had to be in his mind. Man, I couldn't knock out this guy in the first round, man. I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it. He was just going in and thinking about that. He was fighting. He was doing a pretty good job. But at the same time, he was thinking about that. He was thinking about, man, I could have knocked out this guy in the first round, and I didn't. I didn't put a lot of pressure. I didn't go at him. Because he was respecting the guy's power. But then he knew that he could took his punch. And he said that when the fight was ended, they made him do push-ups. They made Edgar Berlanga make push-ups. And they asked him why. Because he wasn't throwing the jab a lot. He's got a great jab. He's got a great jab. He wasn't throwing a lot of punches to the body. He throws a lot of body punch chops. A lot of great body chops. He didn't do that a lot in this fight. Sometimes he was in front of the guy. They were just right there, one in front of the other, and none of them was not doing anything. When Edgar Berlanga could have keep punching the guy in the body and just getting the guy with his jab more times, do it more times. But he was anxious, and when you get anxious, you get tired. And he looked tired. Because it is up here in your mind. It is up here in your brain. But I'm happy that at least that is over. That is over. So we don't have to worry about Edgar Berlanga knocking out anybody in the first round. Maybe his next fight, he comes in and knocks out the guy in the first round. But I hope that he doesn't do that. I hope that he goes and he does more rounds because he needs that. He needs to do that. He's gonna get to a point where he's gonna have to get more rounds because he's gonna go against guys who will make him fight more rounds. But at least he's not worried about breaking any record. So now, if he doesn't get the knockout in the first round, it's not going to worry him. He's just going to go. He's just going to go and just keep fighting the best way he can. He's going to do a much better job. A much better job. The other day, I told this the same thing that I told you guys here about Canelo Alvarez that he draw against a guy who was 3-5 in his fifth fight. And the person told me, well, Canelo wasn't calling out Canelo, or he was calling out the best fighters by that time. And the thing is that he draw a guy in his fifth fight, a guy who was 3-5, a guy who was supposed to beat. Does that make him a bad fighter? No. Does that make Canelo Alvarez a bad fighter? No. But he should have beaten that guy. Because Canelo Alvarez is a great fighter. This guy was supposed to go 10 rounds against Mike Tyson? No. The guy had 8 losses. And Mike Tyson could have knocked him out. He dropped him one time in the fight. One time. Edgar Berlanga dropped this guy who only had 3 losses 4 times. And hurt hurt the guy in the 6th round as well. That the guy looked drunk when he was walking back to his corner. So let's just stop. Okay, let's just stop. That's all I'm asking. Let's just stop going back and forth because we're just you're wasting my time and I'm wasting your time. Okay, let's just wait and see what happens. Okay, because for you to come to me to my channel and make some comments, or if I make a comment in another channel and you're gonna come up to me attacking me just because of my belief in the guy that I support, that makes you jealous. Okay? Because you don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Okay? So in the future, Belanca is going to meet these guys. Belanca is going to meet Benavides. He's going to meet Canelo Alvarez. He's going to go against these guys. He's going to go against both of them. Maybe he's going to beat them. Maybe he will not. We don't know. We don't know. And you cannot tell me he can't. He really can't beat them. With the punching power that he has, he can beat anybody. Anybody. Edgar Berlanga can beat anybody with the punching power that he has. But nothing, my people. You know, that was a great card. Puerto Ricans went from 8 fights. They won 6, and one was a draw, and the one loss from Christopher Diaz against Navarrete. That was the only loss for Puerto Rico yesterday. The only loss. Okay, so Puerto Rico did great. Did great. We have some great young fighters that are gonna be there fighting. I hope that they don't do the same thing that all the fighters are doing right now. That they don't want to fight the best. Right now, you don't see any fighter fighting the best. Nobody's fighting the best. Nobody. Take a look at Ryan Garcia, who just said that he's going to retire. After he was calling out Gervonta Davis, he was calling out Manny Pacquiao. He was supposed to fight these guys, and now he was fighting. Man, I always forgot the name of this guy. I think he's the Dominican lefty guy. He was calling out, and now he's retiring supposedly, because of he's got some mental issues. He's got to have some mental issues because for doing some things like this, calling out fighters, going to the Mike Tyson podcast and calling fighters, calling them out and telling them that he's going to knock them out, that he's going to beat them up, and just be talking trash to then do something like this. You know, it is something that I can't understand. You know. I just can't understand. And then we have Teofimo Lopez, who doesn't want to fight Devin. Nobody wants to fight Devin Haney. Nobody. Andrew Spencer doesn't want to fight Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford doesn't want to fight Andrew Spence. That fight, I don't know if that fight is going to happen. I don't know. Right now we have Jermall Charlo, who doesn't want to fight anybody. He doesn't want to fight Demetrius Andre. He doesn't want to fight Benavides. And these guys are ready to fight. You cannot compare these guys to Edgar Berlanga. You cannot compare these guys to Edgar Berlanga. These guys are just... Charlo is 30 years old. He's been a champion in 2 weight classes. So why doesn't Charlo just try to unify the belts? Why? Make me understand that. Take a look at Virgil Ortiz, who doesn't want to fight Ennis. Jarrell Ennis, something like that. Virgil Ortiz, who is a Mexican, a great fighter, a great fighter. He doesn't want to fight Ennis. He said that he's going to wait 5 years to fight Ennis. Gerald Ennis, I think is his name. You know, boxing is just looking bad, man. I'm telling you. Take a look at this situation between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, where they're making up all kinds of lies, excuses to run from Deontay Wilder. The other day, Deontay Wilder just a picture came out of Deontay Wilder just looking, man. Look at the guy is looking in really good shape, in really good shape. So Deontay Wilder is training. He's ready to fight. He's ready to make this fight happen. So Fury, just forget about this guy AJ and fight Deontay Wilder. That is the guy you're supposed to be fighting. And stop paying your lawyers millions of dollars to avoid Deontay Wilder. Because that's what you're doing. That's what Tyson Fury is doing. And Eddie Hearns is helping me. Helping him do that. Eddie Hearns is helping him do that. Just stop and fight Deontay Wilder. That is the guy you're supposed to be fighting. Or you were supposed to fight that guy a long time ago. A long time ago. So fight Deontay Wilder and stop running from Deontay Wilder. And stop running from the even he said that Deontay Wilder is the best. Nobody else can beat Deontay Wilder in the heavyweight division. Only me. Only I can beat Deontay Wilder. Okay, well, beat him again. Beat him again, Tyson. Beat Deontay Wilder again. We want to see you beat him. But fair and square. Fair and square. And that is why you don't want to fight him. Because you know you can't beat Deontay Wilder fair and square. You can't. You just can't. You know it. That is why you're running from him. That is why you want to make this fight against Anthony Joshua. Because they were saying, all the days they're saying that they're going to announce the fight. All days. The other day, I think it was yesterday, that a guy told me, they just announced the fight. And I was looking for it. But where? Where is the fight being announced? I can't find it anywhere. You know, I cannot see that. I look for Eddie Hearns. I look for Tyson Fury. I look for them on Google. Nothing about the fight. So just stop lying and fight Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Fight Deontay Wilder, okay? Just stop running from Deontay Wilder and fight him. And stop running from Deontay Wilder and fight him. That's it. That is the fight you gotta make. The fight against Deontay Wilder. Against Deontay Wilder. Okay? So Mike Tyson, okay, so this is the title of this video, this live stream. James Tillis, first man who took Mike Tyson to distance, and the record he had was 31 wins, 8 losses, and 24 by knockout. And he was of those 8 losses, he was knocked out 3 times. And one of those knockouts was in the first round. And Deontay Wilder a bum because he couldn't knock out this guy? After this, Mike Tyson became champion. After this, I think it was 6 or 7 fights later, Mike Tyson became champion. And Mike Tyson had knocked out his first 19 opponents, but not in the first round. He didn't knock out his first 19 opponents in the first round. He didn't knock out his first 16 opponents in the first round. He didn't knock out his first 10 opponents in the first round. But he knocked them out. But he made rounds. The guy who went the longest against Mike Tyson in those 19 fights, I don't remember his name, but he went 6 rounds against Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson has fought rounds, you know. But Once again, it is the first time Edgar Berlanga passed the first round, got through the first round. So you cannot judge Edgar Berlanga because of that. You just cannot. You just can. I know it hurts for you people to watch a Puerto Rican, a great Puerto Rican fighter. It hurts for you haters, but it is what it is. Edgar Berlanga is going to be a great Puerto Rican fighter. That's what he is. Okay, and I'm going to leave it here, my people. Okay, I want to thank the people who came in and watched and was in the live stream. I want to thank Rene Bostrom who commented, and I want to thank all of my subscribers to subscribe to my channel and just like, comment, and share, and follow me on Twitter, my people. Hit that icon bell so you can get the notifications. And like I always said, my people, like I always said, God bless Israel, God bless the United States of America, and God bless you all, my people. I love you all, okay? Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in my next video, okay? Later.